All right, 2019, the year of the pig, which means prosperity, luck, cash flow, only good things. And we did a great 2018 with the Red Glove interview series. I think we had over 9 or 10 people from all over the world. And I'm more than excited to welcome Alexandra Skoglund from Sweden. Yes, to be the first interview for 2019. And, life is funny because when we met for the first time, I got actually interviewed by her in Helsingborg after a seminar that I got invited to hold. And now the tables have turned, and it's my turn to dig a little bit deeper in Alexandra's, personality, what she's done. And you guys make sure you tune in and you enjoy this interview, because she is a special human being. She's on the rise, and she has a lot of things to share, So there's a lot of inner wisdom and just pure joy. So with that, Alexandra, I always start with gratitude. I think that is the force that unites us. I think that is, something that can attract more of what you already want or already have in your life, And therefore, the first question before we obviously entangle what's there is, which are the 3 things that you're most grateful for in your life right now?
Hello, everybody. Alexandra here. So I also did this. Also, this is my first live broadcast like this ever. So I'm really happy to be here and to have this experience to do this. Grateful for that today. But also, when I was thinking about grateful, what I'm very deeply grateful for is my family. My mother, my father, and my brother. And that's the kind of gratitude that I experience with each year that I get older. That gratitude just becomes richer and bigger. And I'm experiencing it through different perspectives and different stages of life.
Can I just hold out a little bit, Alexandra? Can you try speaking without the headphones? Because there is a weird like background noise. So can you talk?
Is this better?
Much better. Yeah.
It's maybe because I had something above my computer. Sorry.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Better?
There we go. Awesome. Okay, all so right. Can you repeat that just in case someone didn't hear it? Just shortly. I know your parents were involved there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very grateful for my family and the relationships that is built across time in the family. That I'm realizing that I'm discovering even more and more every year I go older. I'm very grateful for that. And another thing I'm very grateful for is my bucket listing period of my life when I was out traveling, backpacking, and just experiencing a lot of adventure and being spontaneous in the moment. That is something that I'm very, very grateful for. I think it has shaped me a lot as well. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, okay, so obviously your parents, and what you're saying here is that you're grateful about when you roamed around the world and experienced stuff, right? Adventure, new places. Okay. Is that something you are continuing with, or are you satisfied?
Well, I have calmed down a little bit now.
Okay.
If you compare to my younger days. Yeah, but I still enjoy traveling a lot, as much as I can. But now I'm building my business, my company, and so it takes a lot of time and focus to do that as well. So
it does.
Different times in life, So
yeah, but they can come again, right? It's like loops.
Definitely. And also, I just sometimes I have to remind myself of the things that I've experienced and all the things that I've done, and it's just that thought, and I relive the moments again. It's always a part of me.
Awesome. All right. So, did you have a superhero when you were younger, or do you have one now that you like more than others?
My like I think I had my superheroes came from Astrid Lindgren's stories.
Yeah.
Ronja Rövardotter. I don't know the English names translation. Lotta på Gråkmårdsgatan. Pippi Långstocking.
Yeah, I think
so. Those kind of stories. Yeah, I love those stories.
And why did you love them? Well,
I think it's something about like very strong original characters that are not afraid of being who they are, and and fiercely showing it to the world. Yeah.
So they influenced you in any way in how you are today, or were you already like that from the beginning, and they just enhanced that?
I don't know. Like when I was younger, I was much like the character Pippi. Like I can do anything, or like Ronja. Probably busy. I can say that mischievous little child.
Okay.
With a lot of energy and a lot of fantasy. So yeah, I would live out Astrid Lindgren's saga in there. Yeah, running around in the woods. So I think it's something that I carry with me today as strong core values, both adventure and I think like freedom of being able to express yourself and being who you are.
For sure. That's not something.
I never thought about it in that way. Like how they have had maybe an effect on me, but I realized, probably.
Yeah, but the question is, were you like that before, and your personality got enhanced by those characters, or were you not really like that, but they influenced you to become more like that? Do you get it?
Yeah, I think it must have probably been a reflection of myself that I saw in these characters, which pulled me to them in a very early age. Yeah, and so it's and I love that all the wisdom that can be, all the wisdom that you can extract from storytelling, and relating to and metaphorically.
Yeah,
like
for
I
sure.
like it. I would say I'm still in that zone completely, and I'd like to explore it even further.
I would agree, and I think people that really know you would agree too, that you're still in that zone.
Yeah.
So, and that's awesome, because as we grow older, we kind of tend to, lose our spark. Dreams become something far away because we kind of become, realistic, and don't dare to dream that big, if you know what I mean. And that is something that I think most people can understand what I'm saying, and it's a pity, because one day you won't be able to come back to be able to dream again, to think big, to take chances, because it happens gradually, so one day you wake up, and so I think it's really important, not just for young people, but even for older people, to remember that spark, and when they went for it, it's crucial, I would say, like for everything that you do.
Definitely.
Yeah, so we're gonna feed off your spark for as much as we can, Alexandra. All right, so how did you get, you're doing a couple of things, and again, you've done quite a lot of things, for the past 5 years, a lot of energy in what you're doing, but can you please tell the audience a little bit of how did you get into doing what you're doing right now? What are you doing right now? If you can just give us a rundown, and what was the decision to actually start doing the things that you're involved in now?
Ooh, many questions.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I'm a leadership trainer, and I'm a yoga teacher, and I also have a base in life coaching, so a certified CPCC life coach. And I'm currently in the process of building my yoga studio. So that I'm very excited about. And it's my main focus right now. It's getting the studio. And also designing different workshops with different themes that I will have. So hopefully it will be up in the summertime. Fingers crossed.
We cross.
Yes, and about how I got into this field of personal development and leadership. I think I've always been an explorer since I was a little child. My mother always told me that for me, when I was a little child, I wasn't playing like other children. Like for me, it was not a game. It was real. I was always on a mission or doing something very, very important, And so I think that it's been a lust and an urge inside me that I always wanted to explore and discover new things and observe how the world works, how life works. And, so I think I'm quite a reflective sort of person. I like to retreat and just really think about things. And so that kind of brought me into, as I was traveling when I was younger, it just brought me into reflecting on all the things that I've learned in life, how certain situations make you realize things, and from there on, I just I didn't even know that there was a business that you could work with development or life coach. I didn't know what it was. One day, it fell down, breakdown. How do you say it? Like my world crashed, and I was all in tears, and I was living in Switzerland at the moment. I think I was 25 or something like that, and I was like completely broken down and said, "Oh, I'm getting old. I can't be doing this anymore in my life. I got to do something serious. I can't just be traveling around." And I was really just like all the way down the hole. And that same day, I said to myself, okay, now that's been articulated how I feel, and let's do something about it. So every Friday, I decided from that moment on would be my day, where I get to explore what it is that I want to do. And it was actually so simple. Like I started Googling everything that had to do about lifestyle, well-being, philosophy, and all the things that could affect your well-being. And after 1.5 months, the word life coach just magically appeared in my brain. Life coach, and I tried to put that in on Google, and there was like so many hits, and I realized, oh, there is actually schools, there is books, there is everything. Yeah. And from there on, there was no stopping.
All right. So you were 25 when this turning moment came.
I think so. 24.
Okay.
24, 25, something like that.
So what I hear now, correct me if I'm wrong, or what I hear is that you're quite reflective as a person, and at the same time, you do have a drive. Like you say, you always went forward, and this is serious. Let's go get it, and stuff like that. So, like in my experience, when you're a doer, like going forward and being on a mission and so on, it's not so common that you are reflective at the same time, if you know what I mean. You obviously you reflect because everyone does. Sometimes you're forced to reflect but it's not natural because you always think about the next step, the next achievement. But what I hear is that you actually combine, the reflective part of things together with the action, and that is not so common. Would you agree that that is the case, or have I misunderstood?
Well, I would say, yeah, that is a very important balance between being and acting. And I think in the bottom, like if there was a weight state, I would probably lean towards a being sort of person.
Okay.
But I'm very result oriented, so I'm like my drive forces is about the results rather, which tilts me over to the doing part as well. But I think it's something you can learn how to do in creating a routine of just putting 10 minutes of reflection, or if you are a reflector, you put another time amount and block it off to get started with whatever it is that you are procrastinating with.
That's a great advice. Okay, so if you're watching right now and you feel like, hey, I'm a reflector, I think too much, I analyze too much.
All are. I'll let you guys.
You know what I mean? It's like I have so many ideas, but every time someone realizes my idea before I get to do anything, block some time, choose a day, right? Friday or Tuesday, that could be your action day. And during that day or that hour, or you can start even smaller during 10 minutes, right? You take action. Now, if you're a doer that does not reflect, just goes forward, pretty much like like an ox, and that reflection is something really helpful and would save you a lot of mistakes. Block some time, right, Alexandra, and make sure at least once a week you're for yourself and reflect over what's going on. That's great advice. I like it because it's simple and it's really doable once you make it a tradition.
There's something about the being and the doing. I would say it's also the part of the foundation of the coaching school that I'm from. The coaching principle, proactive coaching, where it's that balance, and I'm seeing it in a lot of places in different shapes, right? The two polarities of something, and when they can get combined, and that's when we get the most out of ourselves.
For sure.
Yeah,
so finding a way to keep that
right
balance.
And left hemisphere, and like one foot in chaos and creativity, and the other foot in routine. Yeah.
Exactly. All right. So let's see. Let's be moving forward now. We're leaving the reflection, but we're moving a little bit forward. Then we come back to the reflection. So, what is your definition of success? And the reason why I'm asking this question is because there is a lot of trends going on there on Instagram, social media, Facebook, newspaper, and the word success is pretty much everywhere. And what I realized, first of all, for myself, and then even when I had some seminars and workshops with other people, is that we use this term success, but not a lot of people know what their own definition of success is. So we kind of chase something that we actually don't know what it is, and then we get disappointed for not getting there, even though we don't know what we're looking for. So my question is, what is your definition of success, Alexandra?
I would say the journey of pursuing something that is meaningful to you. That's my definition of success. Because there is always going to be another mountain to climb, right? So for me, first of all, like the success is not a destination. It is a journey and a process. So I guess it's about being aware of that process and being grateful for that process. Focusing on the process and not focusing on the past or focusing too much on where I want to be. because I'm not there yet, right? So just being a friend to your future self, I guess, your future of tomorrow, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So
that is success for me, being aware of that process.
So is success being aware of the process? Because what I heard from your explanation is that it's the pursuit, like you said, the journey
Yes.
towards something meaningful. So I hear the word meaning, so is that something connected to your own definition, that you need to feel like meaning in whatever you do? And then it can be a lot of things that are happening and coming and going, but as long as there is a meaning that you feel, in pursuing that journey, that is something important for you. Is that correct? Or?
Well, because I thought about it a lot, and in the beginning, when I'm scratching on the surface, I'm thinking, okay, success. What is that? Is it a big house? Is it money? Is it is it material things? And then, because that still for me is scratching the surface, and then when I flip around and tossing it around, I think even when you get to the point where you get those material things, it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to feel better about it, right? So when I'm getting a little bit deeper, I'm thinking about well-being, like what's going to make me feel good. And so from that state, if it's an emotional state of mind that is success, like being happy or feeling fulfilled, or rather being happy, I realize that it's an emotional state of mind that is always passing, right?
Yes.
It's not something that is going to be there forever,
exactly.
every second. And for that reason, when I think about these things, what I realize is going to be the one thing that when I wake up in the morning is going to make me stand, like endure all of the hardship that is life, because not every day is easy, and life is not always easy. And when I look at that, that's when I for me at least, success means that I'm moving towards something that brings me meaning, and that is going to gives me the power to do the hard things in a short term. That is going to be value. And for me, it's about being aware of that process, because if I focus on what's ahead and I focus on all the things I want to achieve, all my goals, all my visions, then I get kind of paralyzed. And that's the moment where I forget that how far I come on the way, and how those initial steps of, for example, spending 1.5 months Googling, like really, when I look back now, I really had no idea what I was doing, right? But those steps were very important, because if I wouldn't have done that, then I wouldn't be sitting here today with all the experience that I've been through and with this knowledge I have today.
So does it help? Does it help to be in the process of maybe not knowing sometimes what's going to happen? Because if you know too much, you know too much, what I mean, maybe you'll never take the first step.
Yeah.
If you think about all the steps, too much. That's why a lot of people procrastinate, because they think so many steps ahead that it gets too big.
Yeah.
So they never take the first step.
Yeah.
So I think a healthy dose of being a little bit insane and not seeing reality as you might be seeing it later. I think that's really important. And if you talk to a bunch of people that have whatever, or how you want to define success, they have the vision, right? But they didn't look at all the details. They just say, hey, we're going to do it, and then we're going to find out how we're going to do it. The thing is, I decided to do it. So I think that's a big important thing. But that means being aware where you are right now, and not thinking too much, like you said, where you're going to be in 5 years, because then you'll never start.
Yeah. Definitely enjoying the present moment. It's a reminder each day.
So do you have any technique or strategy, something you can share with the audience? Let's say if you're one of those gals or guys that are not so good at being in the present and things are just, what can you do to immediately just reconnect? And you know what I mean? Something that's simple. And
I am a yoga teacher, am I not? So I'd have to advise strongly on practice of yoga.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay.
But also, I mean, presence is about. It's almost like if you imagine that you have multiple screens in front of you,
Mm-hmm.
and on each of those screens there is information, and being fully present is that moment when you grasp the details out of everything that is happening, but you can still see them all as a whole, right? So the details and the whole. So I mean, it's about practicing one screen at a time, being aware of that screen. So, for example, your vision or the noise that you're, like your ear, your hearing,
Mm-hmm.
or your senses. How does your body feel? How does your skin feel, etc. So, practicing how to use those sensories. Each one at a time. That's good enough. And slowly start practicing more and more. And
So-
that also, so that presence gives you, I would say, gives you the ability to, it's almost like it gives you more time to reflect in the moment, right? When you are present, it feels like 1 second is no longer only 1 second. That's a useful second when you're present and you're making a choice or you're in a sharp decision, right?
For sure. So would you say, let's get concrete. So today I had a lot of meetings, a lot of projects, a lot of, just like boom, 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 boom. So would it be a good thing for me, let's say, just to focus on the sound around me? Like just stop and focus on the sound, or focus on a picture, like you said, visualize, just something to stop. You know what I mean? Stop.
So I would say it's like stress relief, to release stress.
Yeah, or just to be in the present, like.
Yeah. I would just start with the breathing, first of all. Deep breaths. So we breathe down to the stomach. Deep breaths. And because if your breath is up here, then immediately we get into our stress mode. So down with the breath, first of all. And then one at a time, start noticing. So maybe you start by closing your eyes, because the visual impressions, they easily take overhand. But you can close your eyes and start just noticing how your belly is moving as you're breathing, how it rises and how it falls. And you can start noticing the feeling in your body. So you start scanning your body from top to toe. How do you feel in your legs? How do you feel in your stomach, in your spine, etc. And you grade it up to the sounds. Start listening to the sounds, and slowly you start putting them all together, being aware of them all at the same time. Or another thing, if you're maybe have some alone space. If you are in a conversation, or if you are at a meeting and you're starting to feel, maybe a bit tired, and you start to get just unfocused, a really good trick is to lip sync, but inside, right?
Okay.
So you can try to do it now as I'm speaking. As I'm speaking, every single word I'm saying, you repeat inside of your head as a thought. Okay?
Okay.
So every single word I'm saying right now, you're repeating inside of your head as a thought, right? And as you do that, you become a lot more focused and a lot more aware and present. And you start listening if it's a moment you really need to listen. So that's a good tool.
That's a great tool.
That's a great tool.
Yeah, that's a good.
You're like, whoa, I really listened to every single word you were saying.
Yeah, I mean, you know why I liked it? Because it's a little bit like cold showers. I'm into that a lot. like really cold showers twice a day.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons I do it, apart from all the, obviously health benefits, and I'm not going to get into that now, but it's really healthy. Let's put it like that. Is that when the water is so cold, and you're all by yourself, everything kind of disappears. So I cannot have any thoughts of anything else, and then just like breathing and being in the moment. That there is nothing I can do. And this thing that you did right now, because I tried it.
Yeah.
What happens?
Are you guys doing it too now, viewers?
Excuse me, am I?
Are the viewers doing the lip syncing thing as well now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. So this is really good because it forces you to listen actively.
Yeah.
And most of the time we don't listen actively, because when we listen to someone, we actually prepare an answer, something else to comment on. So this one, it actually forces you to listen actively. You can't do anything about it. Just you try it out. Really try it out. That was a great advice. Yeah.
Yeah. You know why it works? Because sometimes I look at the body and the mind as two, as to my thought is not necessarily the boss over me, right? Sometimes you hear a voice or something, how you communicate with yourself, right? You hear that and you think that's it, right?
Exactly.
That the thoughts are ruling, but so I many times I tell my thoughts, slow down a bit. You're not the boss. You're not in charge. I'm going to give you a job now. And your job is to really listen to what the other person in front of you is saying. Really listen deeply behind the words. Listen to the energy. Listen to the values. Listen to what this person might not say, right, in words, but it's underneath. Or something like that. And it brings you sharper into the present moment.
I did it again while you were talking.
Did it again.
I think it can become addicted.
Yeah. Or you can do the same, listening to music, like putting on some music that you find relaxing or really energetic, right? And just listening to that, just focusing on the sound. Or you can get into a movement, so you can start moving in a circle and just thinking about that movement as well. And all of these things, it makes us become aware of only one thing. And it's when we take charge over the thinking mechanism. So
awesome.
the thinking mechanism has a job. Observe it.
Awesome advice. Yeah. All right, so let's look a little bit what we have here. I think we could talk for many hours. We're going to do a longer interview. We said that before. Maybe this year. But what I would like to know is, which person, or let's say persons, so you don't have to choose, but what person or which persons have had the biggest influence in your life, and why was that? What did it teach you?
Well, I would say, except for my mother and father, of course. I would say, and I'm going to say two persons because they feel like they're intertwined as one. It's Art and Raoul. It was my leadership, the leaders, front room leaders, when I was doing my leadership education. And they've taught me so much about life, about leadership, about relationships. Truly transforming to me, these two, and also every single one of the tribe. Yeah, we could have hours talking about all of the things that they have inspired to.
Awesome. So we're losing a little bit the sound. Did you put the paper on the
computer? No, this one is here now.
Okay.
You hear me?
Yeah, now it's even better. Now, because I pretended you were at sea before,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like waves.
Yeah, it sounded like waves. So I liked it because I pretended you were on a cruise ship,
So
and I'm
like this
actually
then?
yeah. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So do you have any books or like that have made an impact on you more than others that you want to share with people, or I don't know, TV series or song? But let's start with books. Do you have any books that you would like to recommend?
There is one book called Presence. I was looking around here because I thought I had it close by, so I could just show it. Presence. It's a leadership book.
Presence. Okay.
Presence. Yes.
Presence by whom?
It's by four authors, and I don't know
Okay.
the names by heart.
Uh-huh.
That's a book that talks about when big collective transformations, like
Mhm.
shifts, when something happens and really transforms into something new. And they're talking about a U theory, where you have to let go of your present your present thoughts or your present mindset, and sort of like bury that and go down under to go back up again with new mindset to solve current situations and problems. So it's a quite a deep book. So it's not the quick book that you read in a few days. It's quite a reflective book that you might take a time to really grasp and sink into.
Is that a new book, like a new book, or is it a new edition, or has it been around for?
I'm not sure. I got introduced to it through the leadership program, and it's been my favorite books ever since.
Okay, Presence.
Yeah, and also it's like that with books. It depends also a little bit on the situation when you receive that book or when that book comes to you, in what moment in life. And that was just perfect match. And I got that book.
Awesome. Have you been reading it a couple of times, or is just once?
I'm flipping in it every now and then. I had a like a sub what do you call it, marker?
Marker, yeah.
I always use marker in my pens.
Okay.
And another book that I also got from that program that I stay close to my heart is The Four Agreements. It's called
The Four Agreements.
The Four Agreements.
Okay.
Yeah, which is based on Totic wisdom. And it's the first agreement is be impeccable with your word. So meaning you speak from your heart, and you also towards yourself, right? That you speak the truth in what is it that you really want to do, and the commitment in when you tell yourself I'm going to do it, you do it. The second agreement is don't take things personally. And that's about the constant filter that we have in which we see the world. So at some point, it's not going to matter whatever you do. It's not a reflection of you if a person doesn't like you or treats you bad, right? It's a reflection of how they view the world. So don't take things personally. And the number 3 is don't make assumptions. For obvious reasons.
Yeah, we all know.
And the fourth one is always do your best. Okay. So rounding up the other 3, that we're all human beings, so we're gonna make mistakes. Shit's gonna hit the fan, but always do your best.
So be impeccable, right?
Be impeccable with your word.
With your word.
Don't take things personally. Don't make assumptions. Always do your best. Yeah.
That sounds great. That's. I mean, if you just follow those 4, I think you'll be.
Yeah, then you're good to go.
You know, even one to start with is really good. Just do your best. You know, it's. All right, so we're closing by now to actually end this interview, and usually I ask a question to end, and before I ask that question, I would like for you maybe to let people know how they can get in touch with you. You have a lot of things going on, and both people from Sweden, obviously, but even international people that would like to connect with you. What is the best way to connect? Is it Facebook, email?
Yeah,
Instagram?
you can reach me on Facebook, or you could use me on Instagram. I am coaching by Alexandra Skoglund.
Okay, so I'm coaching by Alexandra Skoglund, and we'll also post in the comment fields after the interview, maybe a little bit about the books that you recommended and your email website, for people that maybe communicate better through letters.
Yeah.
So last question. Now, if you had the chance to have, giant billboard, or nowadays everything is, becoming social media, stream. So maybe it's not a giant billboard. It could be just something that everyone would see at the same time through, I don't know, artificial intelligence. But one message that would live on long after you're gone. But, you have one chance to say, hey, this to the world. What would that message be?
Is this my one chance to say it?
Yes.
So I'm going to say it. No, I would put be yourself.
Be yourself.
Be yourself.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That has a depth, so be yourself. That, that means your uniqueness, what you came here for. Everyone has a mission. Everyone has talent, superpowers, whatever, but we try to be someone else. Is that what you mean?
Well, I mean, I think everything you need is within, like everything. So you just need to ask yourself the questions, and you'll find the answers. And just be whatever it is that you are, or the essence of you. Embrace it and be the most of it.
Awesome. That's a great way to finish the first Red Glove interview for the year. Yes, nobody got knocked out, but I hope that we will got some punches, like positive punches, and we're going to post this to YouTube too, where you can rewatch it. Make sure you tune in. Just one or two things from what Alexandra said this evening could change a lot. Usually it's just that one thing. Maybe you come back later in, I don't know, 6 weeks, you take another thing. So make sure and stay in touch with Alexandra. Obviously she's on the rise. Yes. So have a great evening, everyone. Alexandra, thank you so much for
being
here.
You too, Claudio. Yes, thank you so much for inviting me to this nice conversation.
And I'll be talking and seeing you, obviously, very, very soon. Have a great evening.
You too.
Take care, everyone.
Ciao, ciao. Bye-bye.